headquarters, where we'll take a total review of week 27. And don't forget that the flag of Ghana is being hoisted high on the continent because Zamalek couldn't beat Dreams FC far back in Cairo. So everybody is talking about after 24 years, if I'm right, the only Ghanaian team to reach this. Got the opportunity to reach here. I think that is Dreams FC after Hearts of Folk making the maiden edition, winning that Confederations Cup. A Premier League side is there. Week 27, Hearts of Folk were shocked in Daewoo. And fortunately for us, the two men who were in the box commentary position and summarizer also joining me in the studio. So we'll bring you the nitty-gritties of what actually happened in Daewoo. The goals that were scored, Kotoko, finally, they took the 3 maximum points against league leaders Samatex. Everybody is talking about the revival of Kotoko. Well, the baton change again. Hearts of Folk loses, Kotoko wins. Kotoko loses, Hearts of Folk win. What is happening to the big 2 clubs in the country? Can they really survive relegation? Some say never, but hey, relegation is really staring at them. Is it going to be possible that we're going to have these 2 teams battle relegation? This and many more on a total review on a show like this. It's the GPL contest. You get it every Tuesday and Thursday. Today is Tuesday, and quickly, without wasting time, let me welcome my mind summarizer and commentator, right, seated here, Prince Annang and Josiah Okoe Quaye. Prince.
Tony.
27th week. League fixtures, Dreams reaching, going far back to Cairo to draw with Zamalek.
Interesting fixtures we had in week 27, and I'm sure we'll go through the results in a bit. But again, it tells a lot of our viewers and a lot of Ghanaians at large what we've been trying to trumpet home over the last couple of weeks or months. The game is getting a lot more interesting with each and every passing week. It's been one of the hottest and keenly contested leagues we've seen in recent times. And it's good to see the unknown names, at the very top, at the pinnacle of the Premier League table. So I doff my hats off for the likes of Samatex, the likes of Nations FC, and of course, Old Guard Aduana also have a claim to fame in there. The regulars, as we know, in the Ghana Premier League, talking about Asante Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Folk, mid-table for them. Crises have been resolved somewhat. There have been ups and downs, but it's good enough. But then, interestingly, the battle at the bottom of the league table is also interesting. It's good to see Heart of Lions pick up some points and some goals as well. But as to whether that will be enough to propel them to dizzy heights is going to be a story that will be told one day.
Okay.
But again, I'm sure that all roads will be leading to Kumasi for Dreams FC.
The big one. Well, we'll look at that. But quickly, let's have, before I get to Josiah Okoe Quaye, let's take a total wrap of what happened in week 27. The results. Legon Cities 2, Accra Hearts of Folk. Hey, the Phobians, what is happening? Hanky-punky journey for Watara football. What happened to that? Kerala United staying at home to draw with Accra Lions, and they are still walloping in the relegation zone. And on Sunday, Kumasi Asante Kotoko, the most needed, the great 3 points that everybody was expecting that Otunfo had won, that if this game Kotoko had not won, that means that I was going to put a call through to the Ghana Football Association to withdraw Kumasi Asante Kotoko from the league, and maybe that worked for them psychologically. It worked for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And Gold Stars also making sure they beat Aduana at home, pipping them. Bofo Kwatano, Gopfo Temante, Bofo Nsueyi Pebre, staying at home to draw with Bechem United. Too bad for Bofo Kwatano. Heart of Lions making sure they go all out Akpando to wallop Nations. The second place Nations FC by 3 goals to 0. Real Tamale United, the pride of the North, the Paga lads, couldn't survive when in Swartreman went there to beat them by 2 goals to 1. Information reaching us is that the supporters have gone to the training grounds to sack Coach Mumi that they are not comfortable with him. We'll get updates on that. And also, Berekum Chelsea making sure, hey, CAF Champions League contenders, they beat them by 2-0. Great Olympics, the Wonder Club of Ghana, failing. The match has been postponed because dreams were on continental assignment. So that is a totality. Just one game that couldn't come on. The rest were played. Josiah Okoe Quaye.
Yeah, Tony, good afternoon. And I think those were some very, very, interesting results we saw from match week 27. On Saturday was the Heart of Oak against, Legon City is hosting Heart of Oak at the Theatre of Dreams. A very, very interesting game. And also Kaila playing at the Nashiriga Park and also being held by Accra Lions. One of the most informed team, I would say, in the league now happens to be Accra Lions. And they get to play Accra Heart of Oak in that Greater Accra Regional Derby when they face each other on Saturday at the Accra Sports Stadium. That would be a match that I believe every single person would want to watch because Heart of Oak are not really playing well and they come up against Accra Lions. But then Kotoko also showed some, character in that game against Samatex. And you'd say Samatex would have felt relaxed, a bit relaxed because they knew that the other title contenders were also going away from home. And fortunately for Samatex, after dropping points against Kumasa Sante Kotoko, it looked like Nations FC also dropped points over the weekend, same as Indiana Stars, who also dropped points over the weekend. So for Samatex, despite the fact that they walked away from the Barbara Sports Stadium without a single point, they still maintained that 5-point gap between themselves and second place Nations FC. But then Pando are Heart of Lions. They look like a team, that do not want to be relegated. They know the kind of stress and the competitive nature of the Division 1, and they are trying as much as they can to avoid the drop. And you could see what they did against Nations FC, 3-0. And that is an emphatic win. That's a statement win that they are gradually beginning to turn things around, especially when they play at the Pando Sports Stadium. But then unfortunately for other stragglers, RTU, they failed to win at home against Inswacheman. And now the latest we are hearing is that the fans are peeved and they feel Coach Abdul Mumin is just not the right man to help them navigate their way from the bottom of the table. It doesn't really look good for them. If you are battling relegation, Tony, you should be winning your home games. Same as the teams that are, occupying the top spot over there. The top four, these are teams that have made their homes, fortresses for themselves. Samatex, the Nanana Century Sports Complex. It's a very, very difficult ground that this season they've only lost once there. Nations FC, their worst at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex has been a draw. Indiana Stars, they've also lost just once. And that was against Accra. Okay, they've lost twice against Samatex and also Accra Lions. In Swatreman, how many teams go to the Nana Kramansa Park to win over there? So if you are taking a claim to win the Ghana Premier League, then the first thing you have to do is to make your home a fortress. So for RTU to be at home and lose to Swatreman by 2-1, Tony, I think, yes, if you're an RTU fan, you wouldn't want to hear this. But then if you are dropping points at home, you don't expect to win points away from home. And just look at their position now. It's even more difficult for them knowing that once you've played at home, you might be traveling or you'll be on the road in the next match week. And just look at that goal difference as well. It's just too huge for our team. You look at the other teams with -2, -9. Yes, you'd say relatively, that's superior than what our team have got. I just fear for them. They happen to be one of the very few traditional clubs we have in the league. And when you go to the north, they also a rep from the north. And at some point, we didn't have any representation, from the north as far as the Ghana Premier League is concerned. It doesn't look good for Karela either. But then we'll just be hoping that either one can stay up at least so that Premier League football will still remain at the northern part of the country.
So that is Josiah Okoe Quaye putting it out there for use on the 27th week Premier League there. But let's shift the gear. Let's look at Dreams FC. They went far back to Cairo. Zamalek of all teams packed to capacity stadium, and the goalkeeper for Dream, Agbesi, was on top of the hill, and everybody is talking about his invitation to the Black Stars team since the Black Stars is now struggling with goalkeeping issues. So let's send you to Cairo and have some highlights. So that is the game we are talking about, and this is where everybody believed that. Prince, the game, everybody thought it was an impossible mission, but Dreams went and they brought a point home.
You see, the feeling amongst a lot of Africans, and I'm sure I'm one of them, is the fact that Zamalek is a powerhouse when it comes to African football. They've been there, they've done that, they've won trophies back and forth on many occasions. Fortunately for myself, I saw Dreams in action, and the last time I did see them in action was in the game they played at the Takwa Akun Park. And it was a game that Karim Zito, before the match, told us that it was going to be technically difficult for his opponent to score simply because of the routine he was going to put up there on that day. So he rested a couple of his regulars and put up a team that really lived up to expectation. They fought well, they defended well, you know. And so after that game, he knew that if he was going to go into the game against Zamalek, all he needed to do was to ensure that the team plays as a team, as it were. They gel. And that is exactly what he did. The highlights of the game we're watching clearly shows you how difficult it was for Zamalek to even try and penetrate through into the 18-yard box. And any time they did that, the ball was either going over the bar or you had Solomon Agbashi on guard duty. And again, they showed clearly the fact that they may not have picked up points to show their level and their value in the Ghana Premier League. Don't forget they have a couple of outstanding matches. They came out all guns blazing. And Tony, the most interesting thing is that although the team knew, and look at the comedy of errors and the chances missed. You know, the Egyptians would know that, yes, we've been in a game. Because it was a game they could have easily won. But then again, it was a game they could have easily lost. Yeah. Because Dreams also played above average. They performed and performed creditably.
That's all glorious opportunities.
Exactly. And so that is why for connoisseurs of the game, they believe that if you've been able to go into the Lions' den and you have held them by that drawn game, you've gone into the Lions' den and you came out unscathed. I mean, look at the brilliance.
Solo was the man of the day. I think that.
I mean, he was here, there, and everywhere. But you see, if you've had the opportunity to talk to the likes of former Accra Hearts of Oak goalkeepers, especially Eben Dida. If you've spoken to Eben Dida, you've spoken to James Nano, yeah. They will tell you how important it is to give your all when you go into Africa. Because number one, you never know who's watching. Yeah. Number two, you could be the difference between victory and defeat. Right. And that's what Solomon clearly did. And like I was telling you, he won the most valuable player in the match against Midiama. Yeah. And so his value on the local scene may not have been seen clearly. But obviously this performance shows you that he's in the class of his own. And I think that this is the time we need to also push players who have showed relevance when it comes to top games like this. Yeah. Solomon Agbashi is one of them. We need to ensure that the climb for him is just and pure, so that he can progress from where he is now to the next level. And he has also shown on many occasions.
With the talk that since we're having goalkeeping problems, Agbashi should be somebody coming to the picture. Is it too early?
Coming to which of the pictures? The Hearts of Oak picture?
No, the Black Stars
picture. Oh, you
mean
the Black Stars picture. Okay. Well, for my money, I think that, yes, he's seriously knocking on the doors of the Black Stars. I'm sure that on a very good day, he would want to show what he has shown with Dreams FC at the national level. And he's someone who, when given a chance and an opportunity, I am sure that he would take it with all gladness. And I'm sure that he would want to go to the hilt to ensure that not only is he a call-up to the national team, but he performs for the national team and would probably want to maintain a certain position in the national team when it comes to the goalkeepers. Yes, we do have some quality goalkeepers in this country. I keep saying that it is unless maybe you have not traveled or scanned the scope of Ghana football. But there are goalkeepers who are either there or are still climbing, you know, and when given the opportunity, when given the push, I'm sure that they can you know, succumb all the odds and all the elements that are in their way, all the impediments, and move into that zone where they can claim ownership to the goalkeeping job. It's not going to be easy, yes, but we found out, through time immemorial, that Ghana has produced some wonderful goalkeepers who made a name on the local scene and did not disappoint when they're given the opportunity to go to the national level.
Okay, so still on dreams, the exploits in Zamalek, but this morning, one player who had played for El Ahly and Zamalek warned that, hey, Zamalek, they are better away performance. Felix Abuaji says, hey, there was no need for dreams to jubilate when they drew with Zamalek. Josiah, you were on the beat. You saw what happened, but Felix Abuaji, an experienced striker for the Black Stars, has warned that dreams need to be very careful because Zamalek are better away performers.
I think it was quite awkward to find the Dreams FC team celebrating after a 0-0 draw away from home. Tony, this is a two-legged affair. This is a tie over 180 minutes, and you just don't celebrate after, you are halfway through. It's even more cagey, and it looks like, I believe psychologically, Karim Zito will really have to work on the psyche of these boys. They shouldn't think they've arrived already. They shouldn't think they are there yet. They are trying to feel a bit conceited. Yes, it's not so easy to travel to Egypt, play against one of the best sides, clubs we have on the continent, and, deny them from scoring, and keeping them at bay for 90 minutes. We know it's a huge achievement, but then also you should know that right after 90 minutes, the tie continues again when you play at home. And now it's even more dangerous for Dreams FC because you go into this tie knowing that once Zamalek scores one, you have to score twice. If they score twice, you have to score 3 times. This game can never end in a score draw because once they score draw, you are out. I just don't understand the whole rationale behind celebrating after a first because I've never seen that in world football. Yes, sometimes you could feel
Maybe
happy.
Prince could tell us why they were celebrating.
You could feel
it was
excited.
an impossible mission. It was a mission impossible.
I understand where Josiah is coming from, but you see, if you play a goalless draw against,
Because all conditions threw them off.
the best team, arguably the best team in Africa, there's cause for celebration. It may be a two-legged affair, yes, but you have conquered the first, and you must be thankful that at least you scaled that first hurdle without a bleach.
That is grace.
Without a bleach. Because other teams have battled against Zamalek, and I've been taking a look at their score lines.
Yeah, and these funds are not El Ahly funds. Prince, let's look at the funds. These are pure Zamalek funds.
Yeah.
And they should tell you maybe the mission was impossible. Most could said, Josiah sat here and said there was no way Dreams was even going to pick a point there. So this called for celebration. And look at it.
I think that I second the calls for the celebration.
But Felix Abuaji
again,
has won.
the celebration was very limited. Karim Zito has been there before. Yeah. He's done that before. He's won the African Cup before, not at national level, but I'm talking about with Asante Kotoko. So he knows how the terrain is. He knows how to pursue and how to follow up on some of these matches, especially when you play against top clubs and you are able to salvage something in their backyard. But that's not to take anything away from the fact that Zamalek could come and also do the same. They could come here and do the same.
Which Felix Abuaji has won.
Yeah.
That we need to be careful with Zamalek.
So
there
they need to be very careful.
There are 4 home games. They've pulled a draw.
Yeah.
So coming home to Dreams, we need to be very careful.
It's understandable because already this season in the CAF Confederations Cup, we saw Dreams travel to Club Africain, and they got beaten.
So there's a club statement. The fans Dreams is expecting, and that is the Dreams FC opens free gate for Zamalek clash. Full house, which could they? I mean, I don't know whether Kumasi not being their natural home, whether they can manage that crowd. The management of Dreams Football Club has accepted a recommendation to make access to majority portions of stadium for its return leg CAF Confederations Cup semi-final clash against Zamalek free of charge. Consequently, the popular and centerline stands of the Baba Yara Stadium, Sports Stadium, for the game on Sunday, April 28, 2024, will be free. Tickets for the VIP, VVIP stand shall be, however, be sold for 20 Ghana, 50 Ghana, respectively, to satisfy security and safety requirements. We therefore urge all football enthusiasts in Ghana to gather in large numbers at the Bebli Sports Stadium to support the team as they strive to achieve a historic qualification for the grand finale of the continental competition. Additionally, management will soon announce several other measures to ensure the successful hosting of the game. Let's do this for Mother Ghana. So, Josiah, this is the flag of Ghana flying. If you look at the tone, it means that this is Ghana against Egypt.
Yeah, obviously, at all levels, it's Ghana against Egypt. And, you know, it will be historic for James FC to just topple Zamalek and make it to the final. Because, like you rightly mentioned in your introduction, no Ghanaian team has been able to win the Confederations Cup. And it was Hearts that made history and won it for the first time when, you know, it was
introduced. When we are hearing that the Ayers Bakani game, if it doesn't come off, then it will be the grand finale for. This is what we are hearing.
It's still tough. Earlier on, I was talking about the fact that in the group stages, we saw James FC travel to, you know, Tunisia to play against Club Africain. And in that game, they finished well. But then, considering the first 20 minutes, they were 2 down. So yes, to go again to North Africa and come back without having, you know, conceded a goal, without your defense being breached, then I think it's a positive result. But I think they just shouldn't get ahead of themselves.
Okay, so proudly sponsored by Max Bar and JB Fresh is the Tuesday's edition of the GPL headquarters. Let me go for a commercial break. When we come back, we'll look at the league. The Kotoko Magic, the Hearts of Folk, Grade 4 of the Oak Tree.
GPL headquarters.
When I dey home and want something quick to chop, everything dey inside, groundnut milk and sugar. I only need some water, soak is made easy, yo. Give carry make it dey be yo, chop am anywhere, it dey be yo, for your office, boarding house, everything dey inside, groundnut milk and sugar. I only need some water, soak is made easy, yo. Give carry make it dey be yo.
Give up 4-in-1 Gary mix. Soakings are easy.
This
advert is FDA approved. GPL headquarters.
Welcome back to the GPL quarters. It continues right here on Max TV, the home of Ghana Premier League. Shift the gear to Kumasi, Kumasi Asante Kotoko. A must-win game, Otumfuo, the gospel according to Otumfuo, that he was going to make sure they abrogate the league if they fail to beat Summertex. And hold and behold, the 3 points were really amassed at the Bebli Sports Stadium. Josiah Okoe Quaye.
Yeah, Tony, I think good game for them after, you know, going 8 games without a single win. I think it was just the right way for them to have bounced back. And it was also refreshing to hear their head coach.
It's going to come. So okay. I think that that is it. That was the game. I don't know what years of 25th anniversary after taking over the seat. Nana, maybe it will be a Opimso, Edinchiamo. And I think that this opened the door for this week's celebration for Otumfuo.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect one. You know, moving into that, you know, anniversary week with a win from the club is just the right way to go. I think I share in Prince's opinion about the fans not turning up, especially about that after that crunch meeting where all stakeholders had to be involved, you know, to...
It seems they're not still satisfied.
Yeah, it looks like. But then I think sometimes the win that gets them motivated is the win that urges them to troop into the stadium to watch. Once the team wasn't winning, I'm yet to come across any team that has gone on an 8-game winless streak in the league this season. I think Kotoko happens to be the first team to have chalked that, success or to record that, in the league. No other team had gone 8 games without a victory. Maybe at the start of the season we saw Heart of Lions struggling, but they had a couple of draws. But to lose 7 in 8 matches, that was quite huge for Asante Kotoko. But then, Tony, it was a good win for them. Regardless, they would take the win because it was the referee who gave, that penalty. He was the one who awarded that penalty, and you wouldn't say you wouldn't take it. They definitely took it, and Enoch Morrison had to dispatch it. But then we hope that this win will just try, will be a morale booster, a confidence booster for them going into the subsequent games.
Okay, so Prince was talking about the funds being empty, so the Greater Accra chairman, Christopher Damanya, and his colleagues had this to say.
At the end of the day, now supporters now Abamebu, but then I mama it's me for 3 points. And today day in say you never bomb pioneer back on a push team. The next match against Medium and hear what is going to happen there. Sad I say before win and I say before draw the other. Now the next match is I don't know who we are come to play, if it Bofaka or not. No, we are going Mediama on Sunday after coming to Mediama from Mediama. It is Lagos City. 9 points. So that from there, the next season, we are planning how best to get a better players and quality players, the dedication players to play for Mazas and Kotoko.
I'm say Kotoko supporters now, and you money a WGDA a year coach Prosper Togumu, a Becca and Chebiana. Supporters need be echo training grounds, echo prevent a year players in from training. Emma O24 at inside the free playing board and Kasaya. We are penning our dome on we there, and then our catch supporters now. Omuni GD our team in Muefinso. Almost say coach Prosper Togumanya do bet me at the Kotoko do the glory level. Then I'll catch them.
Kotoko Susum, Busum. A community sinipan so is about me adana. I just said audition gunuso. And to you na the BC. Nasa ubia come and to him. And he says they see work training ground. Emma open so free yina ani kasai. On a timini any so no free any akasai ni biaka. And she said you know otum for no and say. As a yina air back on it to be paid ni timini kosro. Send a bear ye in correlation, not even Bejina, not necessary. Ya require the team in the Befaso. And the so training ground in the better each. The way him and he say you pen 9 points. Ya one. I got the next 3 points. I any medium. If you are any Lagos City to swap a ball, I here 9 points. And then the next game against Bekum Chelsea. You got Chelsea bar, they have a bus of Olympics. Now I heard the next alternative say rebuilding near pay. Players are unbefitted squad. I was saying, Kotoko kita good players by a team spirit and a manako form. But we make sure so we bring the spirit back so that the players will play. And the minute her ball are players in the ball, a hard luck, any finishing. And I can say we clinical finisher, we have speed wings, we have Sebe started attacking from wings, from defense to whatever. And then a long process I bear with Juma.
Chairman, answer major Macono. Supporters need to say, supporters no Muntem Ati. One is our Mama Kazan, a Yagina. No Cressa, then our supporters Muntemati Ama Mumba together.
Una Oka say, who will be beside the Alice of a Frey Kayabum because baby any part of the Obianum. Until say any Juma. Benu just say entemati. Baby any part of the one. Until say any Juma, and just say entemati. Obia any year call Asqua. Ubesa ufa abinchi call Ebasqua. Nisum person fang Gabasqua. By any year for Bani Bishia or Asqua. Yenny Bako. Until so be an intias, but you have someone say.
I saw in Yajujan.
Mr. Medas.
But then we say football na I'm on supporters no. Supporters no. Ese nya botelema club. We say Kotoko na yinimu no. Die me hu Kotoko say elusu a problem o. Eweni a problem nya dey. Eni ho. But ade a mani je won say say nyina yen kabuma enne yenya GDS say bibi betimasi ene na ere atibs ye no ena ade ba akoso ameka kire yen supporters ni say say bibi say coach football we get there problem ere asi o mo lulo ta mo Roma ere be a similar fan o say tie ba mo lulo pam ya pam mo lulo no o de Roma team na ere aye ba yen ya ja players no e wo kwan su bebrebe coach ni ja kwa ma na ere eko players ndi ne yesa ye supporters no ye ka kire players no o so yo ma ju say o pam no ko be nya team bi akwa ere akwa ere akosan akobo ba players ni ku omo kotoko no ye wan ndi omo sila lasa sila yesu bene champion so ka jo kire mutam jo de blamu ye ni ahebo na cha ye ne o ma ye adwuma no football no na mo e yakoma ne ye de bo club ya santi kotoko na waka supporters any perifone bi adwuma o ma ye de aye bebe siri press ye na mo ene bi hu ade bi wo mo ye tu na obobo no ene ade bi anu ye ne mani age ho se franka makwata eye de club be kre ball no aye de free ho etie besre na kotokotim no boys ne keka o mo no mo page o na start time de ehwa na me ye de bi TV me he pa bi wi am he kado ne ma he de ma bi ye to so mo boy adwuma ya me chiram na mta kumasa santo korochi ya me chiram pa
the game ne de se ne mu ina mu we no boys na ye game ye pa na say ni ngina e hwehwe me mo gidi e boys ni bebre say o mo potentials no akase ye be ade 1 or 2 be to it and the supporters no be age ye be koso ase o mo kran say time be o mo koso amabo ni say e da o mo ase e da sentiment so ase e o support ni
e fra ko kwate do na fra hweme nsam me driver ni o swing station na ene ball no na eye pa na ye fi say me nya we no kra no e me double so ntimitim hu say obi cry mistake so far me nya we no kwa to be mistake only mistake o me hu ya me dan say go na ba mani age mo
ya ne kwadwo poku ha na me koto ti itani kase pa be na me hwe boy na ne boy na in fact any rupees a eye ba o hwe na homika ya supporters na ne di best stadium no na hwe America kakra and the boys no e boy na eye ne sa ye team no any rupees a ne se nkundia bade ba e ma so sa ha ntie besire ogun ene mamlantie promotion ene because yes supporters no near best stadium ne ye abufu kase abufu na siemu ba na kasa no ma ya calm down say there be siena na kasa ewunya say yetimi achi ya na zere anu edisu form near best support ba na ne supporters na master stadium ene we kotoko supporter ewunya say na utrevie na best stadium na best support your team na nya de ba eno ne ye boys no aya ade ma ne nji do no mu share goal no omu bu nkotodwe e pa acho say omanya nuhu se bi obakura ene gu na so a anya de si atwa ye pepa enti ye boys no mu ho a ye best so supporters omiki so say next time no best stadium ni yesu benya bote bye ye league giant the opening apa home enya say league no ye betia edia ye betia di top 4 ni yetia bobi
o hwe kotoko boys no na num ho ye ball no na ye ball no na no ma bi nkoyie e matim no na ye nana ene o makasa team wura ene o makasa enti na say ye hwe game no a na o hwe de ahofama o mode ma ball no a na ye hu say e koyie pressure no e wo mo so because of say omo alusu matches bebre wo fie ni ti no na pressure no ye high enti ba sa na ye hu ball na e wo say boys no e de ebo maye no ene ye da Nyankopon asese yetimi ewini one no betimi aboa ya me yakọ ebi aboa so takwa ame tuma konya dro ye hwe de kotoko boys ni betimi aye yentimi moru a because oma ya de na se enya edu ba bia wo na betimi akasa kire omo nti boys ne no ma abetwam no mfa nto nchen na ye nyina yentimi ensport kotoko ye dimi se kotoko de Ghana football mu firim a enya yie
mencha kotoko supporters nyina ene ya num bi atim ne de akoma so ye kwa adakwa jaachi akoye sa peaceful demonstration no ye wura so tie ye na so boys na bo de bia bi nyakonya meka se kotoko players no mu ni ball ye coach ni so ye ne tatis ye na ntawantawa na wo coach no ene players ne ntam no ɛna na ma yɛn win match no ɛna yɛ wura ba mu no sɛ ma wo boy boys na bɔ ne ndɛ ɔpɔ sɛ key players Bebli am bɔ ne bi no me sɛ match won ka yɛ wura mama ɛka first 11 kra ka yɛ nya yɛ free da wo bai players ni nyina so o ma pila so ba yɛ wura ba mu no sɛ ma wo boy na boys na bɔ eti kɔtɔkɔ de me say ukuma pema pemba ba nya so foko na relegation at 13 yo Yanya has now relegation at 13 years. 85 plus the best team in Ghana, the biggest team in Ghana. Piao, Nana Poli.
And at the Ubi or share start time biano. Meaning say when you're in the from Krama, Team Kotokono. If you say, the near Shan say baby, Neneno, and you sue and a silly name. Because ya say a team path, ya bought almost 10 matches. I think you win. Ewa yeni aye fee na ayare hosem because na beach ya bass antimai. He say me ti we ka kotoko wini aka ya rusie ene me dia rusie nye. If you say ent e bin si da ya pa no kra nyame anim. Dia sie no ya ye beda nyame ase na ya da ohene ase because ohene kasa no tu say aye adwuma pa na nyame sere ne say secrets no de enkabomunim seminim se no so kaboma afei spirit na eye kotoko spirit ayira no obeba fi because yenuanom kramufo epe enkabomu yenuanom akristofo epe enkabomu nananom so epe enkabomu fi se ka secret so ka bom se de praise ya ka bomu a na wi na bana kabeto aso bibibe kabese Ghana football so because no krese kotoko ene sell Ghana na ko my Ghana nipa bebrebe ni be kotoko nti nipa hu ene ba ne sei ena ye pe win ba ko pe kra ho aye den a ese ni suo na aduru yen ti e besre ye mpanifo no a omoka bi wom se omomra no mo meka secrets ni mo mayen na kotoko ne fa ntuma fura